Everyone is saying growth operating is going to be dead in 2026. And what I tell you guys in this video will either make me sound like a genius or actually be something that ruins my credibility as someone in this growth operation space. But let me tell you guys why I'm qualified enough to tell you about this. My name is Patrick Kim and I'm a growth operator. I've been in this info product space teaching other people how to get into other businesses, help them scale, whether that's their revenue, whether that's their digital products and selling more mentorship programs, or even through paid funnels and paid events where you're able to help grow other creators and be able to take a percentage of the money. In this past year, we've been able to collect over $10 million by helping a creator take his business from $150,000 to $1 million a month all throughout the year of 2025. So when you look at this space and when you look up online anything about growth operating, basically what it is partnering behind digital creators that sell an online program where you're able to help them build and scale, whether that's through a business opportunity, whether that's through health, whether that's through relationships. And I'm pretty sure you guys have seen a lot of these coaches online, whether that's through a WAP community, a school community, or even on your social media platforms. I want to tell you that the space is continuously growing. It's honestly an industry that's never going to stop because every single day someone is always wanting to learn more and how they could get into a new business opportunity. Why is this important for growth operators? Is because there's always new opportunities out there where you're able to work with the client and be able to help them scale. So if you guys don't know what growth operating is, it's basically where you go partner up with digital creators online that you probably see all over your newsfeed, whether that's Instagram, Twitter, or even Facebook, and you partner up with them to be able to help them scale their business. And why is this important? Most digital creators aren't looking for low-level hires, low-level talent. They're actually finding people that they can pay to take care of the tasks that they can't afford to do or that they can't do anymore because there's too much on their plate. So why is this important? For a growth operator to come into a business, one, it adds in a lot of work that can be handled, efficiency, clarity, and being able to measure where the business is going. So when I came into the business that I'm partnered up with, we looked over everything, whether that was their webinar, whether they had low ticket offers, whether they were trying to optimize, their leads overall. As you know, when it comes to digital products, you can be able to acquire a lot of leads. However, most creators aren't maximizing on the opportunity of what someone spends within their product or their business. So when it comes to growth operating, all you're doing is coming into their business, building out a new system or infrastructure to be able to maximize on the clients that come through the door. So your whole goal is to be able to partner up with clients that are pushing out valuable content, that are running ads, whether that's through Meta, whether that's through YouTube, and people that know what they're talking about. So growth operating is going to be very valuable, but it's not going to be a trend that you see online where before people were coming in and working with creators that had a large following and being able to help them build out communities. That's not the game anymore. Going into 2026, what these creators are looking for is people that can actually add value and help them scale to whether that's $100,000 a month, $500K a month, or even $1 million a month, and taking their business to the next level. As creators, the whole goal for them is to make more money. However, they can only see from one point of view of where their business is at. Maybe they're doing social media, whether they're doing their live events, whether they're taking their own phone calls. That's how it was for my client. And I was actually the first person that they hired to bring into the business to be able to bring in actual skill sets and actual systems to take them to $100K a month to over $1 million a month. So the question is, if growth operating isn't dying, what actually is dying? And what I find from that question is the people that are not leveling up their own skill sets. Maybe you're a media buyer, maybe you're a high ticket closer, maybe you're even a setter within the business. However, the biggest thing that you want to do is be able to level up as well, being able to add more skill sets to your plate so you're able to charge more. What I look at is AI is a huge thing inside of this business now, or AI is overall something that's innovative to this space. One thing that you want to do is look at AI and being able to leverage it. AI is not here to replace operators. AI is something that operators actually leverage to be able to build funnels, be able to build out webinar slides, ads, script out VSLs, whatever it is, The whole goal is you don't want to be replaced because you have a low skill set, or maybe a skill set that could be replaced. With growth operations, you know the whole business inside and out. I started off as a high ticket closer, and I sold over $1 million within high ticket sales programs within 6 months. I started my own program at the time and actually got to dive into different positions that you would normally hire inside of a business that could be replaced by a VA. And what it taught me was that I needed to learn more skill sets and be able to dive into this space a lot more. And that's why I surrounded myself by other people that ran agencies, so that way I could learn, what does this business actually need? And that's the most important thing when you come into the space or work with the creator, is that you can't just come in and think that you're always going to have a job. The thing is, companies aren't looking to hire just a job title. They're actually looking for someone that has A-level talent that could build out a lot of infrastructure from front to end and be able to implement that into a business. What I typically do with anyone that I partner up with or I consult is I look at their business and I audit everything that's going wrong and everything that's going right in their business, whether that's data, whether that's the system that they run, whether it's their ad creatives, whether it's the funnel that they do, emails. And I come into the business and break down what are the holes and gaps inside of your system currently. And the next thing that I do is I actually go out there and I figure out the solutions, and not only that, implement the solutions in a short amount of time using AI. And that's the most important thing, is that all your goal is, like any business owner, is to be a problem solver. And that's what you're doing as a growth operator. If you see a hole in the business, being able to implement it as fast as possible and condense the time that it takes to do it, one, it saves the client more money. And the second thing, they don't have to go out there and find other people to work with or low-level talent that's not going to get the job done and end up paying more for the task that they needed in the first place. What's the difference between a real growth operator and a fake growth operator? It's someone that actually understands this business. Everything I've done has been built off of experience throughout my 4 to 5 years in this info product space. One thing that I would say that's gonna stand out in this market is being able to actually help creators scale. And what I mean by that, it could be as simple as building out a new offer, being able to build out fulfillment for the offer, and understanding what it really takes to take that business to the next level. So what I see with fake operators, or what I call, the growth operating before it actually, was trending, is people used to just go out there and build out communities. Any creator can go out there and build a school community. Any creator can go out there and build a monthly reoccurring business. However, as simple as that, that's not enough value to be able to stick with the client for a long term. And not only that, be able to get paid the amount of money that you want to be able to make. What I found is, coming into growth operations, I've worked with a bunch of clients that, started out their business, they had a large following, and, got into webinars, built out a school community for them. And what I found out is that not everyone is qualified to work as a client and in this growth operations space. You want to be able to point and identify the right people, from a dream client, a whale client that you could stick with for 1 year to 2 years and be able to scale. I actually know a bunch of growth operators that only work with one client, and I'm one of them, where you're able to make over 6 figures within every single quarter, or multiple 6 figures a year. And that's going to be able to help you stick out, because the whole goal is not to work with a lot of creators, whether maybe you're starting an agency, but as a growth operator, you only need to be a one-man team, and that allows you to be very profitable and keep your business lean. And all you're doing is focusing on the business that you're working with. Growth operators, they're going out there working with the creator for maybe 2 to 3 weeks or until a launch. Now the game has changed, and if you really want to stick out in this space, find a creator that you can stick with, grow their business, and be able to get to the point where you're able to have equity inside of the company. So why are people saying that growth operators aren't needed anymore? Is because people on the internet made this business model seem very easy And managing millions of dollars a month in revenue is not the easiest thing to do. Being able to partner up with creators isn't the easiest thing to do. And spotting out the people that you actually want to work with and actually grow, it takes time. Vetting out the right person is the most important thing, because the creator is the person that pays you, and two, that's how your business is going to continue to grow. So why operators aren't really needed is because most people are coming into the space thinking it's easy. Two, they're coming in and making bad mistakes in the business, which isn't helping the business grow. And three, they might not even have experience, which left a bad impression in this marketplace. And safe to say, overall, I've seen growth operators that really stand out, and how to get into that top 5% of growth operation is really just going out there and partnering up with one client, your dream client, looking at how much value you can add, and actually going in and deep diving into how much systems and value that you could really add to this person's business. So I don't think operations isn't there. It's the most important thing when it comes to business. Without operations, how would you know if your systems are running smooth? Two, how would you ever know if you ever have holes in the business? And also, if your operations aren't tight, your business is going to flop. So the reason why people are saying operations isn't important is maybe because the creator does everything on their own. But if you want to be able to grow this business, is by building up a team, actually having infrastructure, and not only that, being able to know and predict what's going to happen for that person's business. The part in operations that should die is just going out there and finding a creator that just has a large following and building up just only school communities. You should be able to go partner up with a client and actually build out a system that's able to generate revenue and longevity in the business. When I first partnered up with my client, the first thing that I looked at is what already works in their business. And all I did was add more to the fire. The whole goal isn't to go just build out something that, is seen on the internet. It's actually going in the business and deep diving into the problems and solving those. So when I first came into my client's business, he was doing webinars and he was crushing it with $150,000 a month, with only spending $30,000 in paid ads. What I did was I noticed that he didn't sell a high ticket offer on the back end. And what requires from, selling a high ticket offer is actually the fulfillment increases. And not only that, you need more people to be able to take sales calls. So what I did was I actually added in closers to the business. I trained them up, was able to help them understand what the creator sells and what the creator offers, to be able to start selling that new high ticket offer to the current leads that we're already buying. The next thing that we focused on was, since the webinar was happening every single week, we optimized on the leads that people that didn't show, that didn't buy, and actually sold them another offer. So that way we were able to make more money throughout the same $30,000 that was being spent. And in the first 30 days, we were able to collect over $300,000 in revenue. That same model still works from when I started in January 2024 to now, which is November or December 2025. So I've been with this company for 2 years and been able to make over multiple six figures. But the whole goal is that you want to be able to partner up with someone long term and be able to build more infrastructures, more creative things inside of the business. And now it's gotten to the point where we have over 10 offers starting from one, and over 10 different funnels that run, and 250,000 a month that goes out to just Meta alone. So your whole goal is to come in and actually do something to help the business, rather than just coming in there and building out one system and then going to another creator. Partner and focus on one client, and that's going to be your goal and your target, to be able to make multiple six figures or even six figures a year, and to the point where you're able to make seven figures with just one client in this space. So what I believe a true operator should deliver when it comes to working with a creator is being able to spot out the gaps inside of the business. Taking the gaps of auditing the business, looking from front end to back end of all the systems, the team members, to daily operations that are currently happening inside of that business, and being able to identify the gaps. The second thing is being able to provide clarity. Where can we problem solve and be able to find solutions to implement inside of the business where it's currently at. The third thing is being able to identify talent that you need inside of this creator's business to be able to implement the systems of the things that were in that roadmap of how to scale up this business. And the fourth thing that I would say is company culture. As an operator, you're considered a leader in this business. So being able to build up company culture is the most important thing. Being able to find the talent to handle the task or build out the projects that you need to identify or solve the gaps inside of the business. Being able to build up company culture is the most important thing to be able to have longevity and structure for the business. We went from a business that started with 2 team members to now over 30 fully staffed team members inside of the business that show up every single day to be able to, 1, work their dream job, and 2, be able to also hit their goals together with us. So the most important thing when you come into the space is understanding where the creator wants to go with their business and being able to deliver on how to get there and solve the problem of bridging that gap of where they're at now to where they want to be. So if you're coming into this space as a new growth operator and you're looking to partner up with a client, you're asking yourself, how can I add value and more revenue to this business? The main things that you want to be able to learn is how to do advertising. The second thing that you want to do is understand how to build out infrastructures, whether that's a webinar where you sell one-to-many. The second thing or the third thing could be, how do you add in a virtual conference where you're able to collect over $1 million in a week? And down below in the description, I'm gonna be showing you exactly how you guys can build out these infrastructures with these creators so that way you can add more value and revenue to their business. And one of the main things I would say is every creator is going to be completely different. So you have to understand what model works out best for them and being able to adapt to new things as they continue to grow or as they continue to flop, because if something isn't working in their business, you have to adapt really fast as an operator to be able to change those things. So understanding the frameworks and understanding how low ticket funnels, high ticket funnels, book a call funnels, monthly reoccurring communities, maybe even webinars or challenges work is the most important thing that you need to understand. And how you guys are going to be able to not only just add more revenue, but save more money for this creator, which is super important because in this coaching space, creators want to be as lean as possible, is to understand how to use AI. You can use Claude, you can use ChatGPT, you can use Poppy AI, but the whole goal is don't make the work hard on yourself by understanding the skill sets, but there's so many tools out there where you're going to be able to leverage and use to be able to build out projects a lot faster. If you can't find a growth operator, or I would say an email copywriter, if you can't find an email copywriter or you suck at copy, you should go to Poppy AI, right? Or what you should do is actually do an interview with your client and do a full interview, whether that's, about their business, more about themselves, whether that's scraping, their content, and actually plugging that into an AI tool where you can actually make a prompt about your client. So anytime that you have questions about the business or about them and you want to create a new funnel, maybe it's a new email, newsletter, whatever it is, you're able to use that prompt and that way you'll be able to deliver a lot faster. But as your goal in operations is to increase revenue, but also save as much cost as possible. Throughout this time of building up my client from $150,000 a month to $1 million a month, our margins have been around 60%, even though we have more team members. But that's because we've been able to leverage AI, and not only that, save more costs when it comes to the softwares that we use in our daily operations. What separates someone that comes into the business and only does tasks compared to someone that actually drives outcomes is what separates you as an operator. Someone could come in and build out a whole email newsletter. Someone could come in and build out an offer, but your whole goal as an operator is to actually build out the whole infrastructure. And I'm gonna keep on saying that word in this video, but it's the most important thing is that if there's not a certain team member inside of your business, as an operator, you should already understand those skill sets. For me, I understand how to build out funnels. I know how to script out ads. I know how to script out VSLs. I know how to implement book a call funnels, low ticket funnels, challenges, and understand the framework is super important when you come in as an operator because you're able to deliver on outcomes and drive revenue rather than someone that's just there to show up every single day as if it were just a job. The reason why creators are looking for people that know how to drive outcomes and why they're willing to pay is because simply they care about their mentorship programs. They care about their course program. They understand business at the end of the day. They know they could go hire overseas and be able to hire cheaper, but the whole goal is they want to be able to keep their business as lean as possible. So yes, at first my client was scared that we were charging over 5 figures, multiple 5 figures to come into their business and, build it to where it's at now. But the whole reason why it's scary at first is because, maybe this creator hasn't seen this type of work, right? Or maybe they haven't seen someone that has this much experience. But what I could say is the amount of money that you charge for the value that you drive a business in terms of revenue, whether that's cost, anything in terms of the business, is because it's going to be more efficient than hiring low-level talent and having more bodies rather than just one that they can partnership and collaborate with you on when it comes to different projects. So yes, it was scary at first for my client to be able to sign me on board, but 2, we were able to drive in over 100x times the revenue that they were making in the first place. So what I want you to look into when it comes to understanding as a growth operator is understand your value and understand pricing. Everything that you bring to a business is going to be outcomes. So people are willing to pay you a premium, and you're the reason why you could change someone's business from flopping and eventually dying out to someone that actually builds a stronger foundation for it to grow and be able to build long term. The mindset shift that a growth operator needs coming into 2026 is understand that the market is always going to continue to grow, but now you have to stand yourself out inside of this market. You have to understand more about the business. You have to be able to leverage AI, and you have to be able to understand what goes behind a coaching business and what they actually want. Treat it as if it was your business, not just something that's a side hustle, like creating just a community and working all the way till just a launch. Actually go into a business and grow it like it's yours. The reason why I've been able to help my client go from $600,000 a year to over $10 million in revenue, close to $20 million in revenue within the next 2 years is just simply because I care about the business. I care about the client. I care about the people that we bring into the business. And that should be your whole goal as an operator, is not just come in there and to just make quick money, actually make a lot of money for a long period of time. I know I said it earlier in this video when it comes to AI, and most people look at it as, this might replace what I'm currently doing in the business, or I might not have enough experience or knowledge to be able to learn. Your whole goal is AI is still early, and you want to be able to leverage this to be able to help you when it comes to your skill sets. I don't necessarily use AI to replace the people inside of the business. I use it to help us be more efficient and be able to build out projects a lot faster. Let's just say you have someone in the business that does email copywriting, maybe that's funnel building. Use AI to help you build out reference points or be able to give you that clarity and that confirmation to do it a lot faster. And that's going to be able to help you when it comes to this whole business, is understanding, one, the frameworks and the systems that go behind a coaching offer. But creators are always looking into something new. They always think there's a problem inside of their business, but the whole goal is that you want to be able to implement something new, but do it in the most efficient way. So that's where you're able to leverage AI as a tool to help you inside of growth operations. How AI can help a growth operator actually deliver more output when it comes to the business and the skill sets that you're doing every single day is that it could do it a lot faster. There's things as a growth operator where you contemplate, should you do this into the business? Whether you should add certain things into the business to drive up revenue. And AI is there to give you that confirmation to help you a lot faster and make you make those decisions a lot faster, because the whole goal as a growth operator, and this is simply because of me, I would say on my side, is that I'm an overthinker. I execute fast, but I overthink everything and every single decision that you make inside of a business. And that's probably why I'm in this space. But overall, if you're someone like me, I definitely think if you're someone that covers most of the business and you take care of the operations overall, being able to use and leverage AI has been able to confirm a lot of things that I'm doing a lot faster. And as a growth operator, your whole goal is when you're working with a client is to be able to test out new things. So don't be afraid of what AI can do. Start looking into it, learning it, and implementing that into businesses, because I've literally seen a lot of creators that were going to flop their business. Maybe they were stuck in their business. All they had to do was just add AI to cover the cost of what they were doing to hire people, or even adding AI into the offer so you could get more attention from the leads that are coming into the business. I've literally heard it from creators that were selling copywriting courses to Amazon courses to even trading offers, and all they simply did was just add AI a part of their offer, and it drove up their revenue 2 to 3x times the amount. So the same thing happens when it comes to operations. Your whole goal isn't to be a slave to someone's business. So leveraging AI helps you make those decisions a lot faster and allows you to execute a lot faster to be able to leverage your skill sets. And you want to be someone that not only just adds value, but be able to be someone that takes this business to the next level by the skill sets that you are currently learning. So if you're coming into this space of growth operations in 2026, the marketplace isn't dead. You just have to stand out. And you want to have a simple roadmap of being able to come in this space to build out creators' businesses and take it to the next level. The first thing that I would identify is the creators that you can partner up with and actually vetting them out to make sure that they're worthy enough of actually building and scaling their business. Not everything on social media seems like what it is, so make sure that you go behind the scenes to actually learn about their business and be able to vet out more about them. The next thing that you want to understand is how to build out frameworks and infrastructures, from offers to front-end marketing to back-end sales teams, and actually building that out and understanding how this coaching space actually works to take a client from whether that's zero, whether that's 10K a month, or even to the point where they're doing 250,000 a month. You want to be able to understand what levels and what things are needed inside of a business. The third thing or fourth thing that I will say is understanding what can happen in this marketplace and understanding how valuable you are. Coaching is always going to continue to grow, which means the marketplace is going to be open for actual good creators and good operators to come into this space. So if you're coming into this growth operations space and you're wanting to build in 2026, one thing that I would tell you to be successful in this space is actually identifying the right clients to work with. In my next YouTube videos, I'm going to be talking about how to find different clients, whether that's through Instagram, social media, or even other platforms like WAP or School, and then going in and deep diving into their funnels and funnel hacking to actually identify the clients that you actually need to work with. The second thing that I would do is actually understand how to build out infrastructures, whether that's webinars, whether that's book a call funnels, whether that's offers, front-end marketing, or building out sales teams, understanding what goes behind a coaching business to be able to take them to the next level. The third thing is understanding the value that you have in this marketplace. Coaching is always going to continue to grow every single day, and more people are going to want to learn more business opportunities. Your whole goal is to get the right positioning to be able to help grow your business and grow as an entrepreneur in this space. So understand that you're in the right place and in the right market. However, you got to ask yourself, do I have enough skill sets to be able to go out there and change a creator's business? And the second thing is, do I believe in myself and do I have the confidence to go into this business and take it from whether that's 100,000 a month, 50,000 a month, and take it to that next revenue line, whether that's 250, 500K, or even $1 million a month. This all started from confidence, and not only that, started with experience to be able to take a client from $600,000 a year to over $10 million in revenue. So what I want you guys to go do is actually ask yourself, do I have the value and do I have enough skill sets to be able to go take this client to the next level and be successful in growth operations? So what I want to leave with you guys in this video is ask yourself, am I actually delivering and building out systems, or am I just completing tasks? Am I creating leverage, or am I working harder? Am I delivering outcomes or just staying busy? One thing that I do know is that 2026 is right around the corner and you don't want to be left behind. So understand that in this video is just to add value to what you're currently doing. And if you're looking to further your experience as a growth operator or get into this growth operation space, what I want you to do is actually check the link inside of the description down below where you could actually work one-on-one with me and my team. And not only that, leave a like, comment, and subscribe on anything else that you guys want to see when it comes to this growth operation space, or even behind what I do in my daily operations as a growth operator.